Welcome to the Sue Fries Show, and I am so excited today. More than normal, I'm always excited, but I'm more excited today because I have one of my favorite people in the whole wide world, and I'm not going to cry. But I have my sister, my young sister, here with me today, Darcy Brawley. Welcome.
Thank you.
She's already tearing up too.
I know, I can't help it.
And I also have little Missy in here too, so I don't know if you can see her yet, but I'm sure you will. Anyway, Darcy, we're on the TV show today because I'm so proud of you, number one. I want people to understand that our body is our temple. It says that in the Bible. It says that our body is our temple.
Yes.
And that we all have a role to play. And the Sue Fries Show, both radio and TV, is about the pursuit of passion, purpose, and connection. I talk very frequently about our gifts that God instilled in us the day that He created us, and that we need to live out that purpose in our lives. And I believe you're doing just that. You're living out your purpose, you're helping people with their body, and it's all, you say body and mind is what you say. Your studio is called Pilates on Purpose, and it's located on 17th Street, my favorite number, and it's in Costa Mesa, real close to Newport Beach. And you have an amazing clientele, and they all, I can tell, just love you so much. And you've just inputted in their lives in such a wonderful, wonderful way. So I'm so proud of you, sis.
Oh, thank you. I really feel blessed to be here today with my beautiful sister who inspires me every day. And I am living out my life's purpose. I feel since I was very young that I had a sense of physicality about me, that I was able to break things down in a certain way. So I feel very fortunate and blessed to be able to live out my dream and help people and inspire them to a healthier body and more empowered movement. And using the Joseph Pilates techniques, I think, is really beneficial. Also having the physical therapy background, working in a physical therapy clinic as an aide, has really helped me to be able to modify the exercises to really help people build strength and balance, control, and connect the mind, body, and spirit, which I think is so important.
So today we're going to visit Darcy in her world. You know, Pilates on Purpose is a world where she's doing just what she explained. And we are going to visit her studio today and watch her in action and see just exactly what she does. Now, I've been athletic my whole life. I was in gymnastics, and before that dancing, and now dancing. And she's always said, Sue, you need to learn Pilates. And I'm like, what the heck is Pilates? I never heard of it before. And so she tried to explain it, and she's very articulate and clear in her explanation, which you will notice and recognize when you see her in her class setting. She has to explain every little thing, and put your hand here, put your hand there, and this muscle group is being worked right now, and all of that. And it's just amazing to watch her in action, and I'm so in awe of her, really. I mean, it's something that I just don't think I could ever really do.
Thank you. The Pilates movement now has scientific support. So it has been proven scientifically that when you put your mind into the muscle, you're actually getting about 47% more output of that muscle region. So the mind-body connection is so important for so many reasons. Mm-hmm. You also have a default setting. I think we have defaults emotionally. We have defaults in our thinking, which aren't always really healthy for us. We also have defaults in our actions, our movements, the way we use the instrument of our body. So it's great to have the opportunity to really focus on a secondary muscle group, like the hamstrings or adduction, the inner thigh. So being able to do that helps strengthen the structure of your knee, which we were talking about.
Yes.
So being aware of what we're trying to control or contract really helps. And also the muscle elongation through Pilates, being able to understand when you're in contraction, when you're using that muscle, and then when you're releasing the muscle, which is eccentric stretching. And that really makes a big difference on being able to get full extension in the body. We also focus on posture, which is, I think, speaks volumes of people.
Yes,
the way
it
you
does.
stand, the way you sit,
Absolutely.
and also the way you use your body. You figure if you're sitting in your car, if you're slumped forward, that's really putting a lot of pressure on the neck.
Right.
If the abs are just released, that puts a lot of pressure on the low back. Excuse me, Missy. So all of this awareness allows us to really use our body differently, to feel better, to have more energy. And that's really what it's all about for me, is to inspire people and assist them in just feeling better in their own skin and being able to have more function with the body over time.
So what I'm hearing you say is that we become more aware of maybe what we're doing now might not be the best for us, and so we can recreate and rethink things as we notice that things are being done a certain ways. I remember growing up, I was very self-conscious about my body. I was so skinny, skinny, skinny. People made fun of me all the time. And so I would always slump over because I didn't develop like all the other girls. I was not a developed woman. And so I would always like slouch because I was hiding, which made it even worse. And I know that that wasn't good. And then I took up dance in a very serious way. And I realized that I needed to change something within my posture. So when I started dancing and everything, I realized I needed to change something. So I started sitting up, and people always say now, wow, you have the best posture. And I'm thinking,
You do have great posture.
yes, and I'm thinking how funny that is, because growing up, I did not have good posture at all. But it was something where I had to notice that there was an issue, and I had to understand the why behind it, which is such a life lesson in any aspect of our lives, is that we have to identify that there is something that could be done, or we could be better at something, right? Whether it's a physical, a spiritual, emotional. If we have any area of our lives that is not what we really want, or we're not feeling as good as we can, then we need to identify what it is, why it is, and then figure out a way to make it better. And Darcy's doing that with mind and body, because it is our mind and it is our body. And our body is our temple. And it's really important, Darcy, you know this, is what we eat, our exercise, what we do every day. And also what we're inputting in our minds, what we're thinking about, and are we thinking the right things? Are we saying the right things? These are all important aspects to the total person. And we want you to be the best you can be. Every one of us has been created. God created us for a specific purpose that we need to live out. And so the pursuit of passion, purpose, and connection is just that. We do each have a purpose. And we each have an inborn fire inside of us. And some of us might have it snuffed out because of relationship, because of our thinking, because maybe we're just not eating right and we don't have the energy. We just don't feel up to whatever's coming our way. Whatever it is, we need to identify what our issues are and then focus on them. And sometimes there's more than one, right? I know for me, there's more than one issue. So we need to take one. Let's just tackle one at a time, and let's focus on the one. I also know that dancing has been such a benefit, and it's somewhat like what Darcy's doing with her Pilates, is that with dancing, I might be doing things incorrectly. I might have a motor memory that might be incorrect for a certain movement. And so I have to identify the wrong movement, and I have to fix it. I will tell you that I'm much better if I learn right the first time. How about you? Are you better if you learn right the first time? I know I am. It's so much harder to break a bad habit.
So what I love about Pilates is that exercises can be modified based on what your needs are. So for Susie, she's experienced some trauma to the knee. And so we can use the muscles and really magnify and get her to connect with the backside and support structure of her knee instead of just going into the default muscles, which would be her quadriceps. So Susie, as you're pressing out, and I must have a caveat here, I do call my sister Susie for many years now. So we're going to connect with the backside of the body, and you're going to connect to the glutes and the hamstrings, which are on the back of the legs, and press out and in. So we're on a spring system that allows for resistance and assistance through movement. We're able to do her legs simultaneously, but we're also able to use them independently. So if she has a stronger side or maybe a challenge side, we can really identify that. So we could lift one leg to tabletop, use the abs, arms down by your side, and then activate this left glute and hamstring. We also look at the connective point on the inner part of the heel. Good, and pressing out and in. Excellent. And as you're doing this, you're incorporating the breath. She's going to inhale as she presses out and exhale as she comes back in. This would be considered a West Coast breathing style. Susie also is a dancer, as you know, so she likes West Coast and East Coast swing. Pilates started in Germany, but started on East Coast and moved west. So the breathing styles are a little different. What I like to teach my clients is that you want to choose a breathing style that resonates with you. Usually exhalation and inhalation in would be considered more of a West Coast style. The important thing is that the movement follows the breath. You're constantly breathing, which allows for that mind-body connection. And rest. Did you feel that on that back side of the legs? Okay, we're now going to move on to abdominal strength. One of the main purposes for Pilates is to contract and engage the core. What I love about it is that you're able to connect and redesign your movement patterns because you're lying down instead of standing up. So you may have movement patterns that are common for you and might be utilizing your body in an inconsistent way, or maybe not as strong as you could if you redesigned it or thought about it, mind-body. So we have a strap system here we're able to use. So we're going to put hands in the straps. We're going to try the short straps here. And then we'll lighten this a little bit and bring the arms and line them up directly to the shoulders. Distance your shoulders from your ears and elevate the legs to tabletop. Do you feel your core contract here? Keeping the wrists flat. So we're going to press down, wrists are flat, thank you. And you're going to press down with an exhale, and inhale. Shoulders distanced from the shoulder blocks, and you're going to funnel the ribs down to the hips. So because you're in neutral spine, it's also less strenuous on the back. You're able to maintain a tall and lengthened posture while contracting the abdomen. You notice that we're not doing any crunches where we're closing the front of the body. This is more working the seatbelt muscle, that transverse abdominis, which incorporates the pelvic girdle, which really helps support your spine. Good. And rest. Are you getting warmer? Great. How does that feel?
Great.
Does it feel good?
Yeah.
Do you notice the energy in that lower abdominal area? Yes. Good. So now we're going to widen to a small V. So there's a V position here. We're going to lift the legs and cross the ankles. This sometimes is a little more restful position for the legs. I like to add a pelvic Q. This pelvic Q creates a contraction in the inner thigh, which helps you connect to that transverse abdominis, which is the pelvic floor. You're going to sink that lower abdomen in and press down with an exhale. Inhale through the nose, dropping the jaw, exhaling through the mouth. One of the reasons why I got involved with Pilates is because I, just as Tyson, Susan's son, have grown up with asthma. And I found that Controlling my breath, breathing in through the nose, dropping the jaw and exhaling fully, has really helped me stay relaxed through my movements and help me control and get my arms around breathing patterns. Good. The exhalation also assists in abdominal contraction. So when you exhale fully, you're funneling those ribs down, navel into your spine, and actually drawing that Kegel muscle up and in. Good. And rest. Great job. Nice. How did that feel? Is it okay on your back? Yes. So I find when you use some sort of ball or pillow between the knees, it really helps connect to that inner thigh and deepen that lower abdomen. And that's really what the pelvic floor strengthening is all about. And this really helps for so many things, but also in case you cough and sneeze and might have a mishap, it really helps with that too. And for those of you that experience that, I'm sure know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so now we're going to work the tricep muscles. The triceps are the 3 muscles in the back of your arms. Our triceps are those nagging muscles that tend to lose their strength and form over time. So we're going to extend the arms up toward the ceiling. So extend them up toward the ceiling. Thank you for pressing out. We're going to tabletop. You are such a good listener today. It's amazing. We're going to bring the elbows down to your side. A little sisterly love there. You're going to bring your elbows down to your side. Good. So now we're going to take the forearm and bring it up toward the ceiling, but your elbows remain next to your side. So the forearm, there we go. Yes. Now extend away from yourself. Do you feel the tricep contract?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so now we're going to add the lower body. We're going to start with a modification of this exercise for people that might have some low back weakness. We're going to add the right leg. So extend one leg straight out at 45 simultaneously to the arms. There you go. This is that mind and body connection. And bring the knees together. Yes, now we'll extend the left leg. Houston, we have contact. And come back in. I think too with the exercise, laughing is probably some of the best medicine. So if you can laugh, it's also good for your core, but also good for your mental and physical state and emotional state. Good. Are you feeling that in the low abs and triceps? Yes. So now we're going to add an upper torso lift. When we elevate the upper torso, it connects with our rectus abdominis, which is that long vertical muscle. We're going to lift, but we're going to create a C curve. So as you press down, you're going to lift through the crown of the head and extend that one leg.
That's a lot.
And come back. Yes, it is. And rest. Good. And let's lift again. Excellent. So now we'll try that other side with that. She is a phenomenal student. So I think it's amazing to become self-aware, to think about where you are and consider how you can make small improvements over time. So what I like about the class setting or being in an environment where you have a teacher is they're able to assist you in identifying some movement patterns or some things that you may not be aware of. Mm-hmm. Some of the things we are aware of, but I think sometimes we're just so used to using our bodies a different way or our minds a certain way that we might not be aware of some things that we can change and improve. So I think coming to a class or working with a teacher really helps you do that. I think also Pilates is a practice, and practicing the techniques makes such a difference. Mm-hmm. Just like practicing, you talk about your affirmations, really restating the positive things. I am strong, I am loved, I am giving, I am kind, the fruits of the spirit. Yes. All of those things, right. I think are so important. And living in gratitude, being thankful that you have 2 legs, that you can stand, that you can, I've had clients say, it's a great day, I've woken up on, or I've awakened on the right side of the grass.
Yes, that's nice.
So really looking at the glass half full and really being thankful and living in gratitude. So those things are, I think, really important when considering mind-body connection. Also the breath, and really thinking about our Creator and connecting with a higher power. Really taking it to the next level, and maybe not just the here and now, but thinking about the present, but also thinking about the gifts and what you can pursue or give forward with that. So those things are important to me.
Right. You talked about, I think what I got is the calmness. You know, you have a calmness about you, and I'm not as calm. You know, you're a lot more calm than I, but there are times when you get rattled, just like me. You have two little ones. Why don't you talk a little bit about you, you know, like where you've come from and what you've been through? Because I talk to people all the time on the radio and even on TV about being prepared for the next assignment. And so everything up till now led you to where you are right now. And I tell people all the time, and I'll tell you, that you might be in a circumstance, a storm, and you might think, oh, is this ever going to end, and is it ever going to get better? And you know, we both have had storms, many of them. And we can tell you that during it, we're going, why, God? Why is this happening to me? We do ask why, and we don't have all the answers. God does, but we don't. But down the road, we realize, wow, you know, I'm a better person because of the struggles, because of the circumstances, negative circumstances that we've been through, that we become stronger because we realize we can get through it with God's help, of course, because He's always there and He'll pick us up, and He's just there. He never sleeps, which is wonderful. We can talk to Him all the day, at night, anytime. He's always there. So why don't you just tell us a little bit about, you know, where you've been and what's happened in your life.
I mean,
what you want to share.
You have shared with me that I'm the prodigal daughter, or I'm the prodigal sister, I should say. So we laugh about that. But I have had my challenges throughout life and through the decisions that I've made. And through that, I'm so thankful that I've had my sister and sisters stand beside me through those times. I think now that I'm married and I have 2 children, I also had a late birth, which 43 was kind of late, so I can identify with those of you that are waiting a little bit longer to have your children. It's challenging to bring it all together, to have your business, to have a family, to feel like you're centered and calm, I should say. Oh my gosh. So I'm far from perfect in that sense, thank goodness, perfectly imperfect, as you have said before. But I'm blessed to be able to do what I love and to be able to integrate my family into that. And I have a loving, supportive husband too, which I'm really grateful for.
He's awesome. Greg is an amazing guy. I just love him so much. He calls me Hollywood. I don't know why he calls me Hollywood.
I can't imagine.
And he's from Nashville, Tennessee, and I love his accent. It's just so awesome to listen to him talk. Yeah, he's great.
From my heart, I wanted to share how proud I am of you
and
how much I love you. And just purely inspiring. Susie has been there for me through thick and thin since I was a little girl, has always supported me, has always taught me so many things. So it was such a blessing to be able to actually teach her something today and have her listen. It's amazing. So thank you. I love you so much.
I love you. Make me cry, doggone it. That's really nice. And right back at you. You've always been supportive and not judgmental, but loving all the time. But you will speak your truth and you'll speak your mind, and I listen. Growing up, it was wonderful. She's 5 years younger than me, and I will tell you that she used to sleep in my bed all the time, every day, and she'd kick me and sleep sideways, and you know what, I loved it.
Now the frustrating thing is people think she's younger than I am.
Oh, well, whatever. Whatever. I don't know about all that, but anyway, but yeah, she's my younger sis, and she's just the social butterfly and the one that just always is there, and it's amazing. And her kids, you know, she's got quite a range. How old is Blake?
Blake is 15 now, and Savannah is 8.
Yes, so that's almost 2 families in one. And Blake is 15 and a football player, and he's just grown up to be such a wonderful young man. And I always knew he would be, but he was a challenge growing up because he had a mind of his own. Very smart guy, very smart. I've always been very proud of him, but he knew how to manipulate. He did. But you were a single mom, and here's the thing with single moms. that I remember Darcy, she'd call me and say, Susie, are you available this weekend? And I'll say, why? And she'll say, because Blake needs some Sue discipline. And I thought that was so great. And
I
she
used
goes,
to call her the Admiral.
we have a boat and we'd go water skiing and whatnot, and I'd bring Blake on, and Darcy would say, there is no way you're going to get him to wear a long sleeve shirt. There's no way you're going to get him to wear a vest in the boat. And there's no way you're going to get him to wear a hat. And it was very easy to get him to use it.
Of course.
Of course. It's like, I'm going to show you, Darcy. It's really easy.
Yes.
You either do it Sue's way or you're not getting in the boat. It's that simple.
And our dad was that way. It was Dad's way or the highway.
Yes,
remember?
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So what I was going to say to the single moms out there is what I remember about Darcy is she felt so guilty. She had to make the money and bring the bacon in, and she had to be a mother, and she had to be the dad, and she had to be everything to her children, her child. I should say child. Edit that, okay? To Blake. And so she felt guilty if she had to discipline. She just felt guilty because she didn't have as much time to spend with him, so she didn't want to spend that time, disciplining him. And so she had a difficult time balancing all of that. And I know there's a lot of single moms out there, or single dads even, that have the same difficulty. And I'm just going to say, hang in there. It's going to work out. And just understand that the kids need to know you love them. And part of showing your children that you love them is discipline. It's showing them that there is a boundary, there is a safety net, there is a boundary around them. And it's okay to have those boundaries. In fact, it's very healthy to have boundaries for your children and for anyone you come in contact with. It's something that I find has been breaking down the family unit, is not having healthy boundaries. So I recommend highly that you evaluate your boundaries. And if somebody's doing something you don't like, it's up to you to let them know.
Thank you again for having me. This is really a blessing for me. And for those of you that are interested in learning about Pilates, please feel free to check our website, pilatesonpurpose.com. If you'd like to contact me directly, you can reach me at Darcy@Pilates on Purpose. It's Darcy, D-A-R-C-I, at pilatesonpurpose.com. And I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. And my phone number goes to my direct line, is listed on the website as well. So
thank you so much, sis.
I love you.
I love you so much. Thank you so much.
And Missy, here's your mom.
Okay.